Well, hello, my beautiful Pisces. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of July, right through the end of August 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, you may notice I have reinstated the Gaia chimes. I missed them too much, so I had to bring them back there. So please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound, okay? So let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Pisces, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But I don't know if you notice in your Gaia chimes just then, there's a real energy of like a step-by-step approach. I felt very much like at one point there was a very loud energy coming from the Gaia chime, which is unusual. So it could be that you're shouting about your talents, promoting yourself, or, you know, making yourself heard in your environment over the next coming weeks and months there too. That definitely came through there. So let's see what the cards have to say for you. Let us start your reading and let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Pisceans? What do they need to know regarding their career and money situation? Can you please show them the way at this moment in time? Please highlight to them what they need to be aware of. Can you be... Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. So we have the Cosmos. So this is a quietly reflective time about the next steps. As I mentioned, okay, this is a window of opportunity arising for you. This is about you seizing the day, honoring your time, being more diligent and disciplined. But also it is about leveling up, you know, the necessary steps to take your career to the next level. I mean, I don't know if it got caught on camera, but as soon as I started your reading, quite a loud airplane went over and I just got an image. And it was just as I was cleansing your reading, I just got an image there of things taking off for you. Okay, so this could be symbolic right now, but maybe some of you are traveling for work or perhaps contemplating, you know, migrating your business or working overseas. Maybe these are just thoughts. I mean, it could literally be that you're working really hard, you're really busy, and you're exhausted and you need a break and you would like to catch a flight somewhere so that you can relax on a beach, enjoying, you know, a cocktail, for example. So please take it as it resonates. But your first card there is the Cosmos. I mean, I feel like you're deeply reflective. You know, this is a contemplative time for you because you have the High Priestess, you have the Hierophant, and you have the Cosmos. So this is about you reflecting on your sense of purpose. It's about believing in yourself, believing in, you know, better opportunities to come. We have the Five of Cups there. Now, the Five of Cups can indicate, you know, in life, we win some, we lose some. So it can indicate some of you are a little bit fed up with something right now, but also you're aware that we can't win every day. You know, sometimes we have little wins that come in, sometimes there's big accomplishments, but it's about maintaining and sustaining. And, you know, sometimes things can plateau. It can feel like, you know, it's just happening, like it's a marathon, not a sprint, as it were. So I feel there is an energy of you right now learning new things for your career, learning more about yourself, what you want, but also perhaps making a decision on something that's literally going to have a ripple effect in your career sector. Ace of Wands, there's something new coming on in here for you to contemplate. So this could be a new opportunity, new idea, something bubbling up there. I'm actually seeing in the water a bottle of like pop, like, you know, like fizzy pop there. So this could indicate definitely that things are bubbling up, or perhaps you're keeping a lid on something right now that is starting to bubble up. It can also be that you're seeking more excitement in your working environment, because that Ace of Wands is about that spark. It's about you kind of enterprising, having a vision, wanting a little bit more adventure, or wanting something new that really excites you. But the Five of Cups can be that, like, you know what? You're doing something and it's the same old thing, just a different day. And maybe you feel a bit fed up sometimes. I feel like you're just like, you know, completing tasks to your highest, responsibility. And then you're kind of like going, well, what else? Okay, is this it? I feel a lot of you could be feeling a little bit on autopilot in your industry right now. We have that Nine of Wands. It's hard. You may feel like you're close to being at capacity, that things are challenging right now, that you're working super hard, struggling with some projects to keep on top of things. Perhaps, you know, your industry or a company, if you work for one, or even if you work for yourself, it just feels like the goalposts keep moving. And it's not that you're catching up with yourself, but I feel there's this energy of questioning. You know, the Nine of Wands is always about questioning. It's about feeling uncertain, reevaluating circumstances, having come a long way on something, and maybe tweaking a plan. You know, I liken it to like an artist, you know, where you're creating something and you're looking at the canvas and you take a step back and go, no, I need to just add this, or I need to take this away. You know, it's like assessing something right now. So it could be that you are looking at what you connect to, prioritizing what's important, perhaps leaving some tasks and responsibilities till a little bit later. You know, I feel there's this energy of like how you spend your time, being more efficient and trying to do something that you're really passionate about. We have that Page of Swords. Yeah, this is about strategizing, calculating, planning, you know, engineering, you know, the next steps. This is about you kind of like in a very structured energy where, yes, you're on top of things. It means that you are investigating something. So it could be that you're doing something, as I mentioned, like on autopilot, but you're looking at something alternative at this time. Maybe like an extension of what you do already, or you're migrating your skills, or you have an idea that you want to do on the side of whatever it is you do already. But let's get to your cards here and see what's going on there. We have the Cosmos. So this is your protagonist energy. So this can indicate that some of you have been working on something behind the scenes in the shadows, okay? And it can be that you are ready to launch it, or getting ready, getting prepared to launch something. Could be a new line of something that you do. It could also be that, you know, you are about to launch a new relationship with a client or a customer, or perhaps there's someone new, like a new hire coming into wherever you are right now, and you're kind of like sussing them out. Like, okay, are they pulling their weight? Are they eager to learn? Or are they someone who's going to coast? But I feel very much, no matter what you do, because this reading is for everybody, of course, this is you contemplating the nature of your sense of purpose, okay? And how some things work and some things don't work. Like, why is it that some things are easy, you know, and effortless, as it were, and some things are like super hard? And I feel this is the nature of like your inner compass guiding you to what works and what doesn't work, but also your sense of purpose. So for example, for many years, I tried really hard to do something and it was challenging. like super, super challenging. Like no matter what I did, it felt like there was a brick wall. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my sense of purpose. I need to be pushing through. And I was pushing and pushing. And the 9 of Wands can be to push. But then suddenly I was like exhausted, burnt out. And I took a step back. And the universe, I kid you not, the universe literally took 10 steps towards me and offered me all the things that I'd been fighting for or trying to achieve, trying to accomplish. I was almost like doing too much. I was consistently like forcing something that wasn't fitting in my life. And the universe was like, well, it's because, yeah, it's in the same kind of region of what it is that is your purpose. So you're kind of on the right track. But if it's not working, and I'm a very stubborn person, you know, if something's not working, I will try and try and try and try until the point where I'm like, okay, I'm out of opportunities to try and make this work. But the universe was like, oh my gosh, even my guys were like, you are so stubborn. You know, why didn't you just step back for a moment, take a rest, take a pause, contemplate, question, why is it not working? And suddenly an easier way became available. And I was like, is this a trick? You know, I took like, it's almost like I took my foot off the pedal, just a moment, and thought I need to really assess what's going on here. And, you know, as soon as I did that, the opportunities just came because we all are energy, of course, and we need to work really hard to accomplish things, to pay the bills and all of that. But also, you know, we need to work with our energy. So if you're close to burnout here, I feel a lot of you, it's about you reassessing to see, number one, if there's an easier way. But sometimes when we take that bird's eye view of our life and question or take stock of things, because this very much is a contemplative kind of energy where you may feel like you're at a fork in the road, or perhaps you feel like something has run its course or it's close to coming to an end and you're like wondering what next, or how you can like smash through a glass ceiling financially or reach a plateau that you feel has been unreachable for some time. Sometimes it requires a pause. There is purpose in pause, okay? And you'll actually see opportunities come towards you. I kid you not. Like, I'm just going to give you this. This is not my reading. It's not about me, but my guides are showing me in the water right now because they want to highlight something to you, because this is connected to the law of attraction and the law of the universe, okay? When I took that pause, when I was like, I'm exhausted, you know what? I'm just going to like stop for a moment and stop pushing. And, you know, I revisited, and I'm not here to advertise anyone's product or their book or anything like that, but I revisited The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, okay? And I had read, you know, the book before, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to watch the movie. So I thought, I'm very visual, and I'm going to watch the movie. So suddenly I was watching this movie, and, you know, I kid you not, I think it was about like maybe 5 minutes into the movie, I stopped the movie and I was like, you know what? Even the 5 minutes that I've watched, I got really inspired. So I wrote down 5 things that I really wanted to occur in my life regarding my career. Okay. And again, I kid you not, someone I had not heard from in like 6 to 9 months, I put them on that list because I thought I really want to work with that person. And I kid you not, you know, within about, I think it was 20 minutes to half an hour. I can't even remember, but it was like less than an hour. That person messaged me out of the blue and said, hey, what you doing Sunday? You want to meet? It's been a long time. And I was like, done. I was like, I'm going to research this stuff a little bit more. You know, I was running away from my gifts at the time. I hadn't embraced, you know, the visions. I was actually scared of all the visions and the, you know, stuff that was happening. But I was pushing it away because I was focused on like all the other tasks and responsibilities. However, in that moment, I realized there's something other working. We're working with forces beyond our human, like, comprehension, okay? Now, I'm only mentioning that because some of you may be, like, trying to lock into that right now because these are very cerebral cards about having faith, about connecting to whatever it is you're doing, but believing that the right opportunity is going to come to you at the right moment, okay? You don't have to keep pushing. Of course, you need to show up, and I definitely see you're showing up for yourself there, but there's something here with that 5 of Cups. It's like maybe it's not working or it's frustrating or you've even lost that loving feeling for it. When you feel that way about what you're doing, it's a moment to pause. It doesn't mean you're giving up on it. It can be that you're tweaking it. It can be that there is an alternative way. It can be that the universe wants to send you a tool, a person, or an opportunity that is going to revamp what you do so that you fall in love with what you're doing again or reignite that spark. So I would say this is about contemplating what it is you really want, and it will literally ripple effect in your life. There is a massive change coming in your career sector, a major breakthrough that sees you go from being like quietly observant about how you're working right now, how hard it is. That Five of Cups and that Nine of Wands, I mean, I didn't choose these cards for you. They popped out. It indicates things are hard right now. You've been battling away with something, and it can feel that things are not fulfilling. You may feel at capacity, or you're under supported, or that you're doing it all by yourself, but you're still showing up. You may be like holding it all together right now, and it's like you're on autopilot because, you know, the Five of Cups can indicate that you're still doing what you're doing. You're still showing up, even though you feel empty or close to burnout, or you feel that your career is not hitting in the way that you thought it would, okay? But I want you to be aware, the next coming weeks, if you've been feeling unmotivated, there is some sort of breakthrough here, something you're going to be really curious about, and you're going to be like, wow, I was just thinking about that. So in silence comes wisdom. Okay, so there's something here that, you know, it's like your thoughts become things because you have such strong outcome energy cards at the end of your reading. So if you are like, I would really love for this to happen, and you feel it, and you write it down or you document it, because swords are all about, you know, making something that is in the ether, in your thought process, physical and tangible. It can be that you're taking action on something and suddenly the universe sends you a resource or sends you what you asked for. Because the High Priestess can be that you're praying for something, or you're connecting to something, or you're like asking the universe. It can also be that you've given yourself a time limit on something, and the universe is going to step up and surprise you. And this is a breakthrough. It's transformation. It's exciting. This is the fizzy pop moment where things just like take off for you. Okay, that's why I'm so excited about your reading. And, you know, I shouldn't really mention myself in the readings, but, you know, my guides are showing me, because they're highlighting to you that something that has been challenging and hard is about to get infinitely easier because you took a pause to reflect and sort of like state, like cosmic ordering to the universe. This is what I really want. And I want it in this time frame. So I feel a lot of you could be learning new knowledge at this time, or in training, qualifications, certifications, or educating yourself to stay relevant in your industry. But the Five of Cups, it can indicate that there have been some shortages, perhaps shortages of opportunity, or, you know, the industry has been difficult. You're giving a lot of self-sacrifice right now, and you may be looking at the return of what it is that you're doing. But I feel the return is about to get balanced. It's about to get equal for you, because you do have the Lover's card, which is all about reciprocity. Now, if you've come to this reading and you are someone who has lost your job, because this is a card of loss, for example, it can be that whether you were made redundant from something that you used to love doing, whether you had to walk away from something that was toxic, or you felt like it wasn't nurturing your skill set, or you didn't fit in. Whatever the case, I feel it's important to recognize that, yeah, I see you searching for an opportunity with that Page of Swords. You're going to get communication on an opportunity that is so exciting. This is like enterprising. This is your vision. This is the like dream job. This is a moment where when you get this card, it says dream big, because you're making those dreams become your reality, but your thoughts are important. So it's like you're turning your doubts into possibility right now, especially since the job market is oversaturated and you may be feeling a little bit worried, you know, and some of you may even contemplate sacrificing some of the deal breakers, you know, when it comes to the working environment, your needs, as it were, because you may be worried about being out of work, or you may have like even looked at roles where you thought, okay, it's a little bit less money, but maybe I'll just take it for the now. I feel the universe is going to step in and surprise you, and a role that comes in that suits your needs, both financially and in terms of, you know, the actual duties and tasks of what it is comes on in for you, okay? So have faith. I feel like there is some sort of proposal or partnership. When you get the Lover's card in a reading that's connected to career, this can be like a perfect fit. It can be that you're going to have options, but there's one in particular that really, you know, connects to your heart and your sense of purpose. So I feel like there is an energy, especially with that Seven of Cups, you've got options and they are coming in, but there's one in particular with that Ace of Wands that is going to be exciting. I would also say be vigilant, okay? Keep your eyes peeled, especially when you're signing contracts, because there could be some fine print in there, especially about like the end of a contract. Really random. It's like, you know, if you have to give your notice, it feels like there's something about the notice period in there, or perhaps there's something about your legal requirements or the company's legal requirements regarding separation from the job. But you're not separating from this job for a very long time unless it's on your own terms, is what I see there, okay? So if you are currently searching for a role, I mean, there is an energy of two opportunities. One you're curious about, but there's one that just makes you fly. There's one that elevates you. It's a start of really something that's connected to your vision for your future. And it gets those creative juices sparking. And I feel like you're actually going to elevate quite quickly. There may be a probation period in this, okay? And I feel like you may even have the probation period, and then it's like they have a meeting with you to elevate you quicker from the position that you went in starting at. It feels like your status may change to something greater as you change over from that probation period. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to move away from that energy. But if you are searching, even if you're in a role right now and you are searching for an alternative opportunity, I feel there is one coming in that you're going to love, that requires your skill set, your knowledge, and really will flourish your skill set and nurture you to elevate within the circumstances. Now, of course, if you are an entrepreneur or you work for yourself, you're a sole trader, or even, you know, you work from contract to contract, for some of you, this can be that an end of a contract or something that you loved has come to its end of term, and now you're like searching for something more. I'm actually being given this energy that if you are contracted, there could be an energy here of someone in a position of authority who really likes what you're about, and it's like they try to extend your contract, okay? But it feels very much like on a temporary basis at the moment. It is something that will become more secure later on, but that's your prerogative. Some of you may not want that. Some of you may be wanting freelance work, so it's up to you. But with that Five of Cups, it's like something is coming to an end there, or you're about to let go of something. And the Nine of Wands indicates that you manage to keep it, you know, or you defend your position, or, you know, you're kept on. That's what's happening here. I mean, for some of you, if you're worried about your industry, if you work for a company, it can be that you're noticing redundancies and you're a little bit nervous about these redundancies. You may be feeling like, you know, the nature of industry is changing. So this could be that you are defending your position, that you're kept on, for example, and you're witnessing people that you care about be exited from the company. And of course, there could also be someone like middle management or someone in a hierarchical position who is let go or separates from the company. And what I see there, and this is only if you work for a company, I mean, even if you're an entrepreneur, this could be that you meet someone who headhunts you, because I'm getting this energy of someone like detaching from something and setting up something that they love, something independently, and then kind of like asking you if you want to come on board. This is a headhunter energy. So I would say a lot of you may be dealing with something like that. Now, of course, not everybody is dealing with those sort of things. So I want you to be aware to please apply it to your situation. If you're not dealing with that, and even if you are, the Five of Cups can indicate that some of you are kind of feeling that the environment isn't either working for you anymore or feels like it's changed. You used to love it, and something about it is hitting different right now. And it can be that you're taking infantry, as it were, and maybe even contemplating leaving or liberating yourself from this. Now, don't get me wrong, not everybody is leaving a position or feeling like something isn't working there. This can be that, you feel like you're going alone, you're going solo, you're doing it all by yourself. This can be that you feel a bit abandoned, as it were, that you are like unnoticed or unappreciated in your working environment. Even if you are a sole trader, it can be really hard that you have to deal with things day to day, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes there's projects that you've been working on that are really fulfilling, and other tasks and responsibilities where it's like you're on autopilot. It feels empty, like you're just doing, spreadsheets, data, things like that, correspondence. It can be that you're just doing, and you may be looking at more fulfilling ways to fill your sense of purpose, or you may be looking at alternative opportunities to make your current circumstances a little bit more interesting. Okay, so it can be that you are discovering a different perspective or a new way of working, or even something that helps you work in a way where you get excited again about your passions and your sense of purpose there. I mean, why I'm excited about the Five of Cups as your protagonist energy is because we have the Lovers card there, and that can indicate that which you feel you do not have right now, or you feel is hard to achieve right now. The Lovers card indicates you're matching a vibration that attracts what you want. Lovers card is your options, your choices. So yes, you are looking at options right now, strategizing a plan, and I feel like you're locked into that plan and you're attracting the outcome. The Lovers card indicates you partnering with the right people or the right opportunities to elevate, to springboard from. So I would say that a lot of you, this new pathway or this new elevation point, a lot of you, it comes from studying, because you do have a lot of cerebral cards. So this could be the next 6 weeks that you're learning more about your craft, or that you are increasing your skills or honing your skills in some way. Maybe even, as I mentioned, getting a qualification or certification, because that can be the Hierophant energy there. And it opens new doors for you, not just financially, but in terms of elevation, or, moving through the ranks of your career in some way with more responsibility. So I feel a lot of you are calculating or curious about what else is out there for you to do that either can inform what you do already and kind of co-align, or, can be a better fit, as it were, because of that Lovers card. Now, a lot of you, because there is this sense of duality, you could be noticing that something that you're doing is just running all by itself, and you're kind of detaching from this, and now you're seeking to set something else up. The Lovers card can indicate duality where you're doing two things. So this could be second streams of income. It could be that, not that you're bored, but it could be that you're excited about a new project, or, you're making waves in your industry by trying out something new or a new approach, or you're launching something at this time that is going to have people paying attention. So, if you have a client base, or, maybe you're on social media because, you do have that Page of Swords, which is connected to the internet, the ether there. It could be that, you do something that garners a lot of attention. People are like, oh, they're drawn to you. You're magnetic at this time. You are in a very powerful position to influence in some way. If you're an influencer, for example. But, no matter what you do, I feel like there is some sort of idea where you are going to boldly transform your career with it, okay? And I feel this is new, bold, daring. It's like passion project or something. It's like an urge to create. And why I'm excited is because the Five of Cups, if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, there is a figure on there, and I'm only mentioning that deck because this deck, whilst it is wonderful, okay, as you can see, divine intervention with that wing and the candle, there's two candles there lit, so this is duality. The traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, it has a figure like looking over these three cups that are spilt. So it can be that you are making a gear shift in your career right now, and it feels like everything is either going wrong or just doesn't feel right, or it's just hitting in a different way, or you feel spent, you're so empty, or you're so exhausted. But I feel, that figure on that Five of Cups, if they just turned around, they would see that there is two cups there, which means the universe wants to align you with something better. Sometimes, we go through a period where it feels like everything's falling apart, when actually it's it's all falling together. Okay, so the gear shift here, I feel is aligning you with an alternative opportunity or an alternative way of doing something. So for example, if you are utilizing a certain software program to do what you do day to day, and suddenly it's glitching and you're like, oh my gosh, and it's taking too much time. And you're like, what is going on here? Why is it glitching like this? And you're trying to find a solution to that problem. The solution could be that the universe is like glitching this app or this computer software program because there's an alternative that will make your life infinitely easier, more efficient, so that you can go off and do other things. There's a reason for everything. So I feel it's important that you start noticing the signs, because you do have very like otherworldly cards that have popped out there. It's like signs, omens, reasons for things happening. And often when the Five of Cups shows up, there's a reason why something either isn't working or is like being, I don't want to say run down. So it could be some of you are like, not dissolving, but you could be dissolving one company because, you've changed the name of the company and you are setting up something else. Or it can be that you are winding something down, like a project, because you're about to work on something more exciting, or something is replacing it. It feels very much like something more rewarding is about to replace something that either isn't working or just doesn't feel like it's something you want to connect to anymore. Okay, a lot of you could be fed up with the way that your industry is going, or be fed up with a person or even people, because the Lover's card initially is in the resistance position, but it will go into the upright. So if you are separating from a working environment, even a place that you used to love, but it just feels like it's not for you anymore, doesn't mean that you're failing or that you are giving up on something. It actually means that you're mature enough to acknowledge that this isn't working, and actually there's a better way, something that's more fulfilling for your advancement. And I do see advancement and success, okay? Now this reading, of course, it may not resonate with everyone because of the cards that have popped out, but the Nine of Wands indicates, things are challenging, but you're staying on top of things right now as well. Nine of Wands indicates that you are pausing for thought, but also it indicates that you're, thinking about your next step before you take it, and questioning is good. So you're calculating something. Now this could be that you're calculating your finances. It can be that you're working really hard and you're feeling that actually economically things are a little bit challenging right now. You're feeling the pinch, and you're feeling that perhaps you're going through your resources a little bit quicker than you usually would. So it can be that you're looking for alternatives or alternative ways to earn more money, new money making ideas, or even promotions, raises. I mean, if you are on like social media, some of you could be looking at social media partnerships and deals there, brand deals, in order to bring in more wealth. I mean, some of you could be setting up something new there, maybe setting up your own company. For some of you, you may actually utilize the internet to promote your work or market what you do already, get a website up, or do something that helps inform people, like flyer. I mean, all of the things. I feel like a lot of you are allowing your talents to be seen. It just feels very much like, even if you are in an industry where you feel that you go unnoticed, it feels like your talents, they kind of like speak a little bit louder over the next coming weeks and months there. And I feel that this is you pushing on through. It means that you're like someone who's very, very strong in your position. At times you may have no confidence in the industry because it's changing, but I feel like you are someone who can work alone. You are strong. You've been through some stuff. You're dedicated. And I feel like you have the courage to take things to the next level. The Nine of Wands normally means that you're nearly there. You're nearly at, the position you desire to be at, whether that's at, completion of a project that was really unfulfilling, but you just had to get it done before you take a vacation, or whether it is, that you're giving in your notice and training someone to do your role because you're about to go on to something more exciting. There is this energy here of your industry has gone through a transition, and whilst this transition has been challenging, I feel like you are learning more about your capabilities, you're learning more about your industry, and I feel like you're acquiring a lot of knowledge to take things to the top. Also, whether you work for yourself or whether you work in a company, I feel there is someone in a hierarchical position or someone who actually has a lot of clout that loves what you do or what you're about. And they're about to offer you an opportunity either to partner up or to open doors for you. And I feel this is quite exciting. Intuitively, you will look into this role a little bit more before you decide to take it. I feel a lot of you are going to get some really great news regarding your role. It feels very much like you're moving into something new and exciting, or launching something new and exciting, and you're moving away from something that, yeah, it was something you loved for a while, but now it just feels like it is hitting different, okay? And some of you are learning more in order to start something new, or even course correct for some of you. But if you're doing what you're doing day to day and you're maintaining and sustaining, a lot of you are questioning, like, what else? What would make me more excited? What gives me that spark? And with the Lovers card in the resistance position, this can indicate that you're separating from something that was hard won, or that you, I don't want to say regret connecting to, because I feel like you once loved it or it was a great idea, okay? Because this can be a separation energy. And this could also be someone separating. If you're like an entrepreneur, it could be someone that you really had a lot of time for, but they're leaving the business, or they're leaving, and it can be that you kind of support them leaving, but actually I see that you may stay in contact with this person, but I feel whoever you replace this person with, because the role needs to be filled, I feel like they're on it. You're going to really love this person, this new person. They're literally going to transform the role, and for the better. So everything happens for a reason. It just feels like whatever you're doing in your career right now, it may feel like things are challenging and you're sacrificing a lot of yourself, and it feels like sometimes you're going 2 steps forward, 4 steps back, and you may be disappointed with some things or had a rejection in something, but it's always pointing you towards something greater, something that aligns with your sense of purpose and your truth, but also with your heart. You're leading with your heart there. Now, of course, the Lovers card is a choice card. So some of you may feel that you're transforming your career or wanting to, but there's no options. Well, suddenly they're going to appear for you there. I see breakthroughs. I feel there's an energy of new ideas, new projects, new opportunities, new doors opening after a lull. Some of you may feel that this period has been a little bit quieter. Doesn't mean you haven't got a lot on your plate to do, but it can be that, this thinking time has made you start to think about what's fulfilling in your everyday sector and what's not. Now, some of you may have just come to this reading and be like, just tell me about the money. What's going on with the finances, right? And it can be that you are being stricter with your finances. Also, personally, there may be something that you love using, which is a product or a service that comes to an end. It's discontinued. And you may feel a bit frustrated about that at first. You may try to find it elsewhere at first as well, maybe online, maybe not with the actual provider, but you'll source it elsewhere, but eventually it will come to an end. You're actually going to find something else to replace it that you absolutely love. Okay, so that's something just as a sideline there. But if you're just wondering about your finances, Page of Swords and the Ace of Wands, this is you transforming your finances. I'll pull a quick card on this, but I feel this is about you being diligent, stricter, with your finances there as well. But also I feel new money-making ideas could come to you, creative in nature. There could be a passion project that you love doing, or a hobby that actually you're so good at, you're a pro at it. You'll only hone it further the more you do it. And I feel like this is something that you could open up and make money from. So thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please show me the money for my beautiful Pisceans? What do they need to know regarding finances? Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands, following your passions, new adventures. It can be that you are trusting in your vision. The Knight of Wands, when it comes to money, is an entrepreneur. Okay, so this can be that you are doing something radical to transform your finances. Some of you, you could actually be selling pre-loved goods as well from the home space, for example, to transform your finances. But I mean, I feel with the Death card energy, this is you like ending frivolous spending. I mean, you're going to treat yourself, but it could be that you're finding better deals or discounts elsewhere. But I feel that you're changing the way that you approach your finances. So I would say, the Knight of Wands is here today, gone tomorrow card. I got to be honest with you there, but it can be that you're stopping that. It feels like you're being more like careful with your finances. You're not being rash or impulsive, because the Knight of Wands is an impulsive buy, but the Death card can indicate a stop or putting a stop to that. Now, it doesn't mean that like what you want to purchase, you're going to purchase it. I see that in your reading. It feels like you find the same item, but for less money. So you get to save. So that's coming out there as well, okay? I mean, Death card energy indicates a change in your finances, but the Knight of Wands indicates a positive one where, you know, there's a little bit quicker energy when it comes to your finances. It can be easy come, easy go, but I feel it's like easy come in again. But looking at the beginning of your energy, it's not so easy. It's been hard. But because I am, you know, clarifying an outcome energy here, as I mentioned earlier, something that has been hard suddenly becomes easier. Suddenly it feels much more in a flow. So you could literally be releasing a money block this month and opening the door to better opportunities. Now, if you have never been on the internet before or utilized any sort of like online presence there, the Lover's card can be a partnership. But some of you may also be contemplating setting up a business with a person that you trust. This could be a family member with that, you know, Hierophant energy, or it can be someone that you have history with, a long-term history, a friend, someone that you really trust there. Get a contract in place, always important, just to make sure everyone's on the same page. But I feel you can really advance in this industry or this job endeavor, this passion project, whatever it is. I feel that it's going to take off, and you're going to be very vigilant with it. You're going to shape it in the way that you hope for, and I feel it's going to like take off quite quickly is what I'm seeing, and then you manage it. Okay, but a lot of you, no matter what you're doing, even if you're separating from a place or leaving something, you know, I feel that this is you kind of like looking at either migrating your skills or like looking at alternative industries where you can increase, because the Ace of Wands is to increase, but the Page of Swords can be to look at something outside of something that you're already doing. Okay, now bringing it back to people who want to stay where you're at because you love what you do, but at the same time it's hard. You may feel there's not enough tools or support. You may feel unappreciated. I feel Nine of Wands, you're sticking at something there, you're not giving up. I feel, you know, that with the Seven of Cups, doors of opportunity are going to open up for you. This is the power of possibility, but it requires you to really focus on what it is that you want. And for some of you, because the Lover's card is there and the Seven of Cups with the Hierophant, and it's all in the resistance position, some of you may be going through something personal at this time. And you're trying to launch yourself into work, and it just feels like you can't get your mind off things. Take it easy. Go easy on yourself, because you're a human. You know, you're not just a human doing, you're a human being. And there's going to be moments where, of course, you're professional at what you do, but, you know, if you're going through something challenging in your personal life right now, it's going to kind of like infiltrate how you show up at work. You know, you're still going to be professional, but there's going to be a wound there. Nine of Wands is a wounded warrior. So it can be that despite everything, you know, you're showing up for yourself. But I do see you turning pain to gain. So if you have been going through a divorce, or you're separating from somebody, or you have been going through some challenging dynamics in your home life, or even in your friendship circle, I feel that, you know, there is an energy of you channeling all of your attention into your career, and of course you'll find a solution to any conflicts in your private life there. But if you're grieving something like the loss of a relationship or a friendship, I feel there is an energy here, especially if it's an ex or a frenemy. I definitely see here that you're going to turn pain to gain, and you're going to elevate, and that is your revenge. Success is your revenge, okay? But equally, I'm sending you a huge hug out there if some of you are grieving a person who has transitioned, and, you know, it's really made you take stock of things, of life, of purpose, of like, what's it all about? You know, how unfair things can be. So I feel it's important to know that you do have someone, if you work for a company, there's a supportive person here who you can lean into if you want. But a lot of you may actually, be very much dealing with it by yourself with that Nine of Wands there, very guarded. So it could be that, you're showing up for yourself in terms of your career, but inside, you're breaking. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. And of course, it's going to be a process, but you may be reminded of this person quite a lot at work. Okay. I feel there's going to be signs, symbols, and omens there as well, because Ace of Wands can be divine intervention, and it's like, pay attention. Like, there's a little visit from a bird there. So this could be relevant, or there could be a sign that you've asked for and it shows up for you. And it just highlights that you're being protected and directed. There is someone watching over you. Okay. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to disconnect from that energy, but it is something that these cards literally mean when you put them together, but it's also in the energy. Okay. So for everyone else, I just feel like knowledge is your key to success right now, and you're informing yourself, you're researching. So some of you could be going through like a research and development stage of your career or your process. It could also be that you're calculating what you desire for your future, and everything that you're taking action on right now, it's a ripple effect. So I feel that you are elevating, and instinctively and intuitively, you know what to do. But this is a review period. The High Priestess is deeply thoughtful and reviews where you've been, where you are right now, and where you want to take things next. And you may feel like your whole industry or the way that you work is in a transition period for whatever reason. For some of you, it could be that you're relocating to a different base. It could be there's refurbishment. It could be that perhaps, there's not as much industry as there used to be, and there's alternative options available to create more opportunity. And it can be hard to make that adjustment. But I do see that you are going to utilize that knowledge that you have, both natural knowledge and acquired knowledge, that will help you be far-reaching. So right now you may feel where you're at with that Five of Cups, that you're feeling a bit fed up. Some of you may be a little bit bored there, but I feel this is you turning things around in order to extend your reach in your career and elevate. Something is about to take off for you, because this is the card of dreaming big. It's you having access to be able to transform your career and your dreams through creative power. So this is you empowered and taking action on something. You have a brilliant mind. You have a beautiful spark idea coming through for you. And this is about you trusting the vision and taking a new venture or a creative new start into something. It's like you're in your primal power. You are dynamic and you're inspired at the end of the next 6 weeks. There may also be a call or a letter or a piece of information that you're curious about. Perhaps you've been waiting for this, and it sees that, you are now adjusting the way that you work so that you can have like better rewards or more impact in your industry. And I definitely see that you're making an impact there as well. I mean, if you're deciding to stay where you're at right now, I definitely see here, this could be a new client or a new way of working or something that's inspirational, where you can reshape the way you work, or you take charge of something that highlights your capabilities to others so that you can elevate. If you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you have a mindset to set up your own business, or you are already established at your own business and now you're branching out and creating a new line of whatever it is that you do. Or you could be like testing the waters on something, trialing something that you're like gauging how it goes, because this can be to witness, this can be to like keep your eyes peeled on something. If you're trialing something, I mean, this could be the ripple effect, like you're starting something or doing something, putting it out there, allowing it to be seen, and it feels like it takes off, but you're just judging the engagement or how it's received. And this could be creative in nature. Whatever it is, I feel like it is received really well. And I feel if you're giving a presentation, for example, or you're chairing a meeting or having an appraisal in some way, I really feel that there's new opportunities discussed there, and, an opportunity for you to elevate in some way. Pages bring news, of course, but a Page of Swords indicates that you have an incredible mind, and, you are eager to extend your reach or elevate in your practice or whatever it is that you're doing. And the universe is stepping in to give you that opportunity because the ace is the hand of the universe. So I feel like there is a bit of a ripple effect going to happen in your industry or your career sector after a period of feeling a little bit like humdrum, or that something isn't giving back in the same way. Suddenly, I feel things get exciting for you. Also, I'm seeing a Rubik's Cube in the water right now, so this can indicate... Thank you so much, I'm so grateful. Okay, I've just been given an energy that is very precise. So we do have the Lover's card here, which is in the resistance position at first. Okay, and the Nine of Wands is to protect. I would say, just be mindful who you tell your ideas to, because although I'm seeing a Rubik's Cube, my guides, I was just trying to contemplate what it is they're trying to give me. I have to symbolically decode these things I'm seeing in the water as I'm scrying as a vision. Okay, and at first I thought it was like you're switching things around or moving things around in order to make them fit or complete something. So that could be something you're doing right now. It's really hard. You're about to take a vacation, for example, or you've just come back from a vacation and you feel like fed up that nobody did what you do whilst you're away. You may have trained someone. You're like, they didn't show up. Now you're going to have to return to it and do it yourself, for example. But what I was being given was two-faced. So it could be that protect your ideas, copyright them, patent them, or make sure that you copy other people in on your emails, your correspondence, to highlight that these ideas are yours and no one else can take credit for them. But also it could be that you encounter someone being two-faced about someone who's in a position of authority. Even if you are a sole trader, you work for yourself, you could be networking and you could come into contact with someone who's very bitter and talking, like trash talking somebody. Don't get involved in gossip, because I feel it will go back to that person and it could have a monumental effect on your career, because whoever they're talking about, they are well connected. So just watch out for that. If you work in an office or you work in an industry, wherever you work, just be mindful. If someone is talking negatively about someone else, it will get back to them and you don't want to be involved in that, okay? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Pisceans? What do they need to know right now regarding their career? Oh my gosh, drop the mic. We just got the image I saw in the water, okay? The soda bottle, right? I said I saw like a fizzy pop bottle. Things are about to get exciting for you. What does it say on this card? Seeking more excitement. I mean, hey, my guides give me everything for a reason. There's no such thing as like just a coincidence, in my humble opinion. But it says thirsty for something. You're thirsty for something more. And it says feel refreshed and rejuvenated, getting your energy levels back. Yes. So this is your motivation. If you've been feeling like completely drained, because the Five of Cups can be to be drained with all the work you have, all the things on your to-do list. You're showing up for yourself, as I said there. And the Ace of Wands can be that your energy levels get a boost. Someone may even give you a piece of advice regarding like hormone levels or perhaps vitamin deficiencies, for example. Always go to someone who is qualified to give you that advice, but you could, manage something that you've been dealing with for some time in a more controlled fashion that helps you have more energy levels. But yeah, things are about to get exciting for you. And it could also be that you're about to launch something, or if you've been doing something behind the scenes, things are bubbling up for you and you lift the lid on it. It's like, here we go, I'm ready to reveal. Okay, so we also have the heart. So you're leading with your heart, you're following your passions, you're aligning. That's why the Lover's card is there. You're looking at your options and you are saying, okay, my heart is telling me this is the right place to, have as my direction. And it says here, emotions focused on love. So some of you, as I said, there may be something personal going on there as well. Heart's calling and affairs of the heart. I mean, for some of you, you may even witness someone being really unprofessional in the working environment because they're going through a breakup. Maybe they were seeing each other behind the scenes, having an affair, perhaps. Maybe you are keeping that secret. Maybe you witnessed this and you don't want to get involved in this. But someone will expose it. That's what I'm seeing there as well. But that's, you know, a little bit of messy business. We got safe, so I feel like you are safe in your position, or you're about to get a role where you are safe. But this is also about saving your finances, locking off, you know, some money for a rainy day, even though I feel in your future you won't need that. But it says what you value is safe. I mentioned earlier, you're protecting something there. You're protecting your position, protecting something you've been working for. It says you're protecting what's yours. Your secrets are safe. I would say just be vigilant, because the Page of Swords can indicate, especially with the Lover's card in the resistance position and the Hierophant in the position it's in, I would say there could be a breach of confidentiality. So just be a little bit mindful, okay? But it could be that you're protecting it through copywriting, patenting, you know, trademarking, things like that. But it also says here, hidden valuable information. And I feel a lot of you are tapping into information that helps you strategize the next steps on your career path. And you're taking it to the top. I mean, you could be taking it to the bank, literally. Your ideas. I definitely see here that you are going to be securing more wealth, but it feels like you are calculating something right now, your plans, in order to get to that stage and attract more. So we also have arrow. You know, that's all about your movement. That's the soda bottle there as well. It says here, direction, movement, achieving goals, and reaching your target. And I feel like you are. But I feel the universe wants to send you more. So good news, opportunity, or something that sees you hit your mark or make an impact in your industry, but it feels like it was hard won. It feels like it took a lot for you to get there in the first place, but then you've created that foundation as a springboard to more, if that makes sense, okay? So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or ring before we close. Okay, so we have, oh my gosh, we got a heart. Okay, so this is following your passions, following your heart, and sometimes that's just really hard to do. But your heart has to be in it. Otherwise, you know, you're going to feel empty. You're going to feel that there is this sense of needing something more fulfilling. And I feel something shifting for you right now, where you are going to lock more into that sense of purpose. Even if things feel unfulfilling right now, it could be that you are about to reignite your spark and fall back in love with your career after a period of it being like super challenging. You know, something I did years ago, I used to love it so much. And then it's like someone put the pressure on. Everything changed, especially, you know, over the last couple of years, the things that we've been going through, the goalposts have been moved and the pressure is on. And when the pressure starts to build up, then you start to feel a little bit jaded or disenchanted with something that you used to love. And you need to take a step back and say, whoa, I used to love this. What's going on here? Let's really question things. And then suddenly you find your way back to enjoying it again with a different approach, or you course correct. The choice is yours, okay? But that Lover's energy with the heart, I feel like you're following your heart and you're safe to explore the next steps on your career path, and you are taking it to the top. Things are about to get a little bit fizzy for you. I'm quite excited. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Pisceans. Thank you so much, and love and light.